Hey everyone, Iro here. So I was going to create a video on why I didn't like Andor. And then I realized I really don't want to spend a lot of time talking about what I don't like. But on the eve of Andor Season 2 coming out, I kind of want this to be a video where I'm like, perhaps I'm wrong. Maybe I should let him cook a little more. So I'm trying to keep an open mind and everything. I'm going to go through a real quick list. I was going to do an edit and all that. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time on being negative. So I'm going to do a Professor Sky kind of thing. Very limited edits, if any. And hopefully I can do it right in the first take. I doubt it, but here we go. So the first thing I didn't really like about Andor was I'm not very a big fan of Tony Gilroy's view. I did like the Bourne movies, but I felt like it didn't really feel like a Star Wars show. Not because of the Jedis. I every time I say that, I always get like, oh, you didn't see the wizards and the crappy dialogue. There's a fair criticism to that. However, I think that what was really missing is the concept of a bunch of aliens. It was just a bunch of humanoids, and it kind of, it just felt like another dystopia to me. And so it wasn't bad. It was just like, it doesn't feel like Star Wars. Another thing is I didn't like what they did with Bix. I thought Bix was such a badass, but they kind of made her like, I don't know, they gave hints that she's a badass, but then they just kind of made her this tool to create the story. So some guy gets drunk and jealous and then snitches. I thought it was weird. It was a weird look. I thought she was going to be more involved, but she could be in season 2, so I'm going to shut up, because you never know what you're going to get. Also, the other thing I didn't like, and I'm not going to go too far into this, but I really didn't like the dialogue too much. I felt like the dialogue in its own right was just kind of bloated. I found myself going like, yeah, man, I get it. Let's keep it moving. This is dragging, especially in the first 3 episodes. The other thing I wasn't vibing with was, there's a couple things. Jesus, I'm trying to really not go too into it because I want to make this a very short video. But there was a bunch of stuff with. I talked about Bix. Oh, I hated Andor. I hated Cassian so much, but that's just how he was written. I thought he was an opportunistic guy. I wasn't vibing with him as a protagonist, but that's okay. I mean, again, I think they wrote it well. If you didn't want him to be liked, because I felt he was very not dystopia. He was very opportunistic and kind of would screw everybody over. Also, that whole thing is like, I've been fighting the Empire since I was 6 years old. There's a difference between fighting and surviving. But there was another part of it. So the first 3 episodes kind of boring. Oh, I don't really want to get too into it, but Tony Gilroy really falls into the tropes of a lot of. I'm going to try to be tender here. There's a lot of tropes that he falls into when it comes to race and colorism. I don't really want to get into it, but essentially, if you go through the cast, the color, if you pass the paper bag test, if you don't know what that is, go look it up. You're usually a good guy, but unless you're with the Empire, that's just flat out bad. But you're either going to be killed, or you're going to be a snitch. You're going to just be outright bad, or a martyr, and that gets kind of lame. I don't know. When I saw the cast as they went through, I'm like, yep, that guy's gonna die. That guy's gonna die. That guy's gonna die. So that kind of bugged me a little. It's not a game ender right there, but I feel like John Boyega was right on what his comments were. Perhaps maybe not so much direct. It shouldn't be directed at the fans. It should more like be directed towards the creators of the content. The other thing that irritated me was, be honest, when you showed a little dissent on it. Like, you put a little criticism on Andor, and they were like, "Oh, you just don't get it." And it's like, I got it. It's just like, I don't think Andor was bad. I just didn't vibe with it, and that's going to happen from time to time. I think, I'm worried about season 2, mainly because I don't know what to expect. It's going to be more the same. I lie to you not. I couldn't stand Andor anytime I saw him. Every time he was on the screen, I'm like, "Will you shut up, man? I can't stand you right now. Everyone else, let them talk, because you're just gonna." He's like, "I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it." And then when he does it, I'm the best at it. Sort of, but I am being a little hard on him. But that's probably how he was supposed to be written, and that's a testament to the writing, though I'm not a big fan of it. I really don't want, even talking about it, Star Wars negatively feels a little wrong. No, I'm trying to be honest with you. The fan base was a little aggressive about it. It always makes me wonder, like, they're like, it wasn't like Star Wars, so that's why I like it. I'm like, do you like Star Wars? Or maybe they were just kind of saying that I like the different approach, and that's fine. Like, I think that's a very good thing that Star Wars is branching out. I actually enjoyed the Acolyte because they tried and it was rough, but they tried to make a kind of like a murder mystery kind of thing. That was kind of cool, and I like the approach of showing that the Jedi are not all good. Amandla said, like, spirituality is corrupted by organized religion or something like that, and that's a really interesting take for me. I'm going to touch back on the dialogue a little bit. I know I'm all over the place, but one thing that I got a lot of dissent for, or let's just say insulted, or they're trying to say that the writing in Andor was superb. It was fine. I think there were some scenes that it felt like talking to someone who wanted you to think you were smart by saying a lot, but really not saying much. It's like, yeah, like I said before, it's like, yeah, man, I get it. I get what you're saying. Let's keep the story going. And they were saying, they try to compare it to the Acolyte when it comes to dialogue. Like, you can't do that. Like, it's just not a thing. Once you add mysticism and religion of space wizards, you're not gonna have great dialogue unless you're absolutely top tier and you're being a little more nuanced. I think Andor being so grounded made it more relatable, and you connect with the dialogue a little more. Yeah, I think that would be where I would sit with that. Nothing in Andor like really popped for me. Like there wasn't any lines that really made me go like, oh wow. I didn't the one big speech by Stalin, or he's a fantastic actor, so it's like I feel like a lot of the dialogue was crap, but the people that were executing it, because the cast, there's nothing I can say wrong about the cast. The cast was awesome. The way they executed this dialogue was great. I just don't think the dialogue was great. I mean, the big speech was like, yeah, I get it. You're giving it up. You sacrifice. You live in the dark and all that. You know, you know that you're resigned to the fact that you're not going to survive this, and it is what it is. But you're doing what's better for the greater good. I get it. It just didn't hit that hard. And that's a preference thing. Now I don't really like, again, talking too negatively about things. I really want to choose the positive and see the good in it. Here's what I'll say. The cast, again, no notes. They're fantastic. Everyone that was on that project, I thought, did their job incredibly. Like I love most of those actors. Andy Serkis, I love Andy Serkis. Like I am a big fan of him. I think everyone made it very. Their performance was just fantastic. When I think about what else can I think about that I liked about it? No, there's plenty more. I'm just on the spot right now. I'm on my lunch break, so I'm trying to keep this under 15 minutes. But yeah, I thought the acting was very good. I thought what they were trying to say was good. I just felt like it was any other dystopian. And again, one big thing I want you to take about this, if you got this far, and if you actually saw this video, but is that this is just a preference. I'm not saying Andor was bad. I'm not saying it needed work or whatever. I'm saying this is the stuff that I saw and that I didn't really connect with. I thought the diversity wasn't there, with not just in race and with the leads, but it didn't really show any aliens. Like I think I made a joke that the trailer for Skeleton Crew had more aliens than freaking Andor all season. So I would like to see more aliens. I want to see some Twi'leks in there. I want to see some more Star Wars galaxy, not just something that would be confused with Earth 2094 or something like that. The other thing is, writing is always a preference thing. Like I like succinct, very to the point things, unless you're giving a huge speech. The Marva speech was pretty good. I like that one. So that one I actually like more than Stone, than the Luthen one. What other thing? There was something when I said Marva. Oh yeah, I didn't like the whole thing with Marva just kidnapping a kid, saying I'm going to save him, and then changing his name, taking away his identity. that's a me problem. It's just like these things kind of bug me, and it takes me out of the show, because I'm like, why would you think that's kind of cool? But I get it, at the time she thought she was doing the right thing. And again, going back to my press, I know I'm all over the place. I see, and that happens. But and I'm very nervous, so it's just a preference, man. I like succinct dialogue. I like it to look a little more diverse, where you see more aliens and more of the galaxy in the shots. I really don't care about screws or zippers or shit like that. Excuse me. But I more care about seeing the whole galaxy fight the Empire, opposed to just the humans fight the Empire. There was that whole thing, back in the 70s. There was a lot of first A New Hope was just a bunch of white people and aliens, and so that kind of felt wrong. They got into it. They started adding diverse characters in Empire. Fast forward in 2025. What year? Oh God, 2025 is that we now have diversity, but now we're kind of still staying on the paperback high, and this is coming from a light-skinned brother. So yeah, man, that's just my thoughts. I'm very excited to see Andor season 2. It's releasing today. Also, so is Oblivion remaster. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do with my time there. But it was I'm excited, and I'm very open-minded to making another video. Going like, you know what? Hey, I should have let him cook, because I'm always happy to see new Star Wars content. And most importantly, I'm just because I didn't like it, season 1, doesn't mean anything about you. Like, I'm happy you liked it. I love it when Star Wars fans just find something in the Star Wars universe to just go like, this is me right here. So, you know, that's all I really have to say about that. Hope you guys are well, and hope you enjoy Andor season 2. And I'll be talking about that probably later this week. So take care, guys. May the force be with you.